So, Madam Chairperson, with your permission, can we start the debate? She says we can start the debate. So let me go straight and invite to the microphone Salima Safian, Principal Speaker of Our Lady of Grace, to start the debate. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for all of them.
This motion should remind us of the words of Marcus Garvey in his poem, Hail United States of Africa. He said, Hail United States of Africa, free, motherland most bright, divinely fair, state in perfect sisterhood, united, born of truth, mighty, thou shalt forever be. From the east and west, north and south of this rich soil, let us gather under one baobab tree to listen to knowledge that transcends beyond times and borders, realizing that our diversity are vibrant threads adding to our amazingness. From the bustling streets of Lagos to the peaks of Mount Kilimanjaro and the hot shitter of Ghana, let us celebrate diversity that makes us African. The chair adjudication panel, man of the pendulum, members of the Konsai, invited dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. In Swahili, I say karibu. In Zulu, I say wamunkelikili. In Chi, I say akwaba. And in English, I say welcome to the semifinal of the 6th edition of the LuvFM Pepsodent High School debate. I am the principal speaker for Our Lady of Grace Senior High School, born in the land of gold and born proudly African, here to defend my stance for the motion, quote and unquote, African countries should prioritize regional integration over international partnerships. There's a saying that if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. I stand here as an advocate for Africa to go far through integration. Let us understand this motion together. Prioritize, according to the Cambridge Dictionary, refers to deciding on which group of things are most important so you know what to do first. Regional integration, according to the Norwegian Institute of International Affairs, refers to a process where neighboring countries intentionally decide to intensify their cooperation through common institutions and rules. Moving on, partnership, according to Investopedia.com, refers to an agreement between two parties who agree to share the liabilities and profits of a business. Lastly, international, according to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, means relating to two or more countries. This motion basically seeks to say that African countries should put working together amongst themselves of more importance than working with other countries. The chair of the House, let's take a quick grammar lesson. African countries in this context is the subject of the verb prioritize, hence the doer of the action, to be seen as one unit. Hence, international partnerships in this debate refers to a partnership between a country on this continent and a country on another continent. Here are reasons I and my school decide to choose togetherness over turmoil. The chair of the House, so our first point, African countries should prioritize regional integration because it helps to find tailored solutions to our problems. There's a tree adage that goes, we are the ones who know our plight. We are the ones who should come together with our shared histories and cultures to solve our own problem. The chair of the House, have you ever heard of a malaria outbreak in a European country? No, we are the ones who suffer. We are the ones who lose tens and thousands of people to malaria every single year. Yes, we want to sit and go through lengthy negotiations for someone out there to help us solve our problems. The chair, the House, just last year, a West African country, Cape Verde, was able to successfully eliminate malaria. If we prioritize regional integration, it wouldn't just be them. It would be a regional achievement, including all of us. The chair of the House, we should come together to solve our problems, tailored just for us, because it's for us, because of us, and by us. Together, we are stronger to solve our own problems. To my second point, the chair in the House, it helps prevent imperialism. Imperialism is the relentless efforts by top countries to exploit the resources and cultures of other little countries through force or coercion. The chair of the House, Africa is the land that has it all. And there's a saying that if you can't beat them, join them. But these countries are trying to make us just like them through international partnerships. The chair and the House. International partnerships, no doubt, will give you the expertise to go ahead with development projects. But at what cost? The conditionalities imposed on us sometimes go way beyond our scope. An example is the fact that Uganda received sanctions from the UN as well as other top countries. Why? Because they instituted their anti-LGBTQ law just in 2023. Another example, I believe we guys all remember the ruckus that happened in Ghana because IPPF, which is the International Parenthood Planning Federation, was trying to impose comprehensive sex education into our curriculum. These things go way beyond our moral scope. And by coming together, we unite, and it will be a harder block for people to come and just throw away our culture. After all, we are not African because we were born in Africa, but because Africa was born in us. To my third point, the chair in the House, regional integration should be a priority because it will help promote and maintain peace, stability, and security. The chair of the House, a body like ECOWAS has been working time and again to produce a peaceful environment in this society. Imagine the whole of West Africa. ECOWAS through ECOMOG has done so much, such as in 1996, they helped stop the war in Liberia. In February 1998, they helped to stop a military regime, which came back to help reinstate the president, President Kaba, as the president of Sierra Leone. The chair of the House, international partnerships. They will help you. But this is a partnership. We both want to gain. And at one point, one will gain over the other. These people came in saying they wanted to help Liberia so bad. Countries like the US, UK, and others. What did we see? They said they were going to help save citizens from Gaddafi's oppressive government. But this became a full-fledged, blown-out, chaotic destabilization of Libya. They're not coming to help the people, actually. Libya had the resources. Libya had the perfect location. And now what do we see? All because international partnerships wanted to help us. They said if we promote integration, we will create the serene Africa that we all want to see. The chair in the House, in my fourth point, we should promote regional integration because it goes ahead, because it aligns with South-South cooperation, which is the surest way of development. A little education. South-South cooperation is a term used by policymakers and academians. Why? Because it refers to the exchange of technology, knowledge, and resources between growing countries. The UN Development Program stated that South-South cooperation is the surest and best way of developing countries in the global South, because even the poorest countries have something to share with each other. And let's not forget that little drops of water make a mighty ocean. The chair, the House, a book written by Paul Collier, British economics, stated that African countries or countries in the global South can, if they try really hard, will develop without depending on Western states because we have all we need. And now they depend on us. Why not use what we have to develop us? The chair, the House. To my fifth point, I speak to the African in you when I said that regional integration is a step towards a united Africa, fulfilling a lifelong dream. The chair, the House, through these many years of prioritizing regional integration, what have we achieved? Really, what have we achieved? The best we hear is the economy is expected to grow in. This is not the reality on the ground. Our martyred heroes, our ancestors and freedom fighters, the likes of Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, Marcus Garvey himself, they have brought us too far for us to fail now. The chair and the House. Unity is no longer a choice. It is a necessity at this point if you want to break free, because you cannot keep on partnering and shaking hands with the same people that sat in the Berlin Conference of 1884 to divide and rule you. We cannot sit on the same table and discuss improving with the people who impose their currencies on us, making our currencies almost useless. The chair, the house. There's an Egyptian quote that goes that more precious than our children is our children's children. We should strive to build an Africa because we have all we need. We have no reason to be poor. We have every reason to build the Africa these people imagine. These people fought the toil and blood of our fathers. These people have lined the ground with their blood, pushing us onwards. Hence, regional integration is the very first step to realizing these dreams. We must stand on our own 2 feet, and the chair and the house. It is time to build an Africa where we are what we are meant to be. Powerful. I rest my case. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, our wise people say that, and I quote, "Sekrodos one, yet not for unquote." That is to say, that when there are many alternatives of doing things, we should never, as a people, settle for mediocrity. Ladies and gentlemen, no way to you, the ever-wise chair, bold and impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, colleague debaters, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen. Representing St. Hubert Minor Seminary Senior High School, I am Jedediah Chei Amponsa Dixon McAllister, a proud principal speaker, speaking boldly against the motion which I quote, African countries should prioritize regional integration over international partnership, unquote. Ladies and gentlemen, before I proceed to lay down my salient point in support of my stance, permit me to explain some key terms in the motion. Ladies and gentlemen, prioritize, according to the Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary, means to treat something as being more important than other things. Ladies and gentlemen, regional integration is a process in which states enter into a regional agreement in order to enhance regional cooperation. Panel of judges. International partnership, according to Meta AI, is also a collaboration between different countries, organizations, and institutions to enhance or achieve a mutually beneficial goal. All in all, the chair, what the motion is trying to posit is that African countries should focus more on working together and creating stronger relationship with African countries rather than putting a higher emphasis on partnership with other countries outside Africa. The chair, I stand to oppose the motion. I unequivocally stand to speak against the motion due to the following reasons. Point one, I opine that African regional integration only supervises common problems. Ladies and gentlemen, regional integration in Africa has not been able to provide solutions to our core problems. The chair of the house, one would expect that by reason of regional integrations, solutions to problems would have been conceived in one country and spread to the other. But that was not the case. That is not the case. And that look like will never be the case, ladies and gentlemen. Since the time of the Organization of African Unity to the time of African Union, African countries have shared problems rather than benefits. Ladies and gentlemen, the common problems of Africa include poverty, food insecurity, political instability, poor health care, only to mention but a few. Ladies and gentlemen, for the purpose of a more compelling and organized debate, I would like to discuss one of the problems, and I'll take poverty. Ladies and gentlemen, poverty among African countries is not only high, but rising. The chair, I reckon that the sky is indeed its limit. Ladies and gentlemen, approximately 45% of Africans are income poor. That is, when measured by a poverty line of $1 per day. Also, 42% of Africans suffer from the incidence of human poverty, which is classified or characterized by living expectancy, educational attainment, and living condition. Ladies and gentlemen, our argument is simple. Our argument is that if with regional integration, poverty is not high, but rising, then I think that we should look elsewhere. And that is when international partnership comes in, ladies and gentlemen. We need not to limit ourselves to only regional integration, but also we need to broaden our tentacles to larger international communities so that we can get a varied ideas about how to solve our common problems, ladies and gentlemen. So African countries should not prioritize regional integration over international partnership, ladies and gentlemen. Point two, I argue that poor infrastructure and networking challenges hamper Africans' regional integration prioritization. Ladies and gentlemen, Africa has half of the world's developing landlocked countries and therefore need to rely on a huge transportational network to connect to and from them. Ladies and gentlemen, the low efficiency and the high cost of transportation restrict import and export trade flows and also hinder the development of Africa's regional integration. The chair the House. Out of the 44 landlocked countries in Africa, or out of the 44 landlocked countries in the world, Africa alone has 16 of them, making transportation within regional boundaries costly and hectic. Ladies and gentlemen, a close look at the trade between Cameroon, Chad, and Central African Republic shows African Republic, who are neighboring countries, is still a wonder. The chair the House. It is estimated that from Douala to the Chadian capital, which is in N'Djamena, it's 1,818 kilometers, which is mostly traveled by road, since Chad is a landlocked country. Ladies and gentlemen, and it takes about 7 to 10 days to transport cargo from Cameroon to Chad. The chair. Our argument is simple. Let's use this example. For example, if Ghana decides to partner with Germany, the chair of the House, Ghana has 2 options to transport their goods. That is either by air or by sea. Also, if Ghana partner with Chad, I'm talking about, Ghana has the same 2 options, either by land or by air, ladies and gentlemen. So it's the same. So why do we need to prioritize one over the other? I think we should maintain it. And if not, if there's a need for prioritization, I think we should prioritize international partnership over regional integration, because the benefit of international partnership far outweighs that of regional integration. That is why we reject the motion, ladies and gentlemen. Point 3, I argue that African countries find it difficult to help one another in times of need. Therefore, we shouldn't prioritize regional integration over international partnership. Ladies and gentlemen, African countries are so much bombarded with a lot of problems that each country is so much concerned with how to manage their many problems, if not solve them. Due to this, many countries have taken the position of minding their own business, even when other African countries are in need. Ladies and gentlemen, when other African countries are in need, one will be tempted to think that with groups of regional integration, such as the ECOWAS, there will be a collective effort to help the country in need. But that is not the case, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, sometimes some of the problems that some African countries face are caused by their neighboring countries in their quest of solving their own problems. For example, to avoid the spillage of dam, Burkina Faso will have to intentionally spill the Bagre Dam to cause flooding in Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, my opponent, with this, how do you expect Ghana to expect support from Burkina Faso when Burkina Faso sometimes causes this flooding? A question I pose to you, and I'll be expecting my answer. Ladies and gentlemen, also in 2011, African countries, with all their regional integration policies, folded their arms and watched on as the US crashed one of our best performing economies, that is Libya. The chair of the House, they did nothing, absolutely nothing. After all, I don't blame them, because this US is the same people we go to when we need help, because no African country or African countries find it difficult to help one another in times of need. The chair of the House. So I think that we should partner with the US so that they will not do to us what they did to Libya. And I would like to quote my opponent, like what she said: if you can't beat them, join them. Ladies and gentlemen. Also, I think we need to partner with the US so that when other countries attack us, they can also come in to defend us. That is why I say that, yes, indeed, we shouldn't prioritize regional integration over international partnership. Ladies and gentlemen. Point 4, I argue that to be part of global decision, we should not prioritize regional integration over international partnership. Ladies and gentlemen, prioritizing regional integration over international partnership can be very costly to African countries. The chair, with regional integration, African countries can only attend African-based forums and also partake in regional-based decisions. However, with international partnership, African countries can partake in decision-making at the international or world level. The chair of the House, for example, it is through international partnership that will make a country win the global honors, such as the hosting right for the FIFA World Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, the FIFA policy is that when the World Cup hosting right is given to a country, all FIFA tournaments will be held in the continent of that country that won the bid in that particular year. So supposing this becomes an African country, this will help put the African continent on the world map. The chair, it will also encourage and boost tourism, trade, investment, and create opportunities for foreign aid. That is why I say that we shouldn't prioritize regional integration over international partnership. Ladies and gentlemen. Point 5, I opine that regional integration limits African countries to smaller markets than international partnership. Ladies and gentlemen, restricting ourselves to regional integration limits access to larger market sizes. The chair at the House, believe you me, no one continent can provide a market size that is larger than what the entire world can provide. No, I don't think so. The chair at the House, and trust me, there are more countries outside Africa than those within Africa. So African countries need to partner and collaborate with other countries in the US, North and South America, Asia and other continents, so that they may open their border for us, and then we can export our raw materials and other products to them. Ladies and gentlemen, apart from that, African countries are especially limited in purchasing powers. The chair, this is as a result of our weak currencies as compared to the currency of the Europeans and other continents. The chair at the House, for example, the West African CFA franc is a currency for Benin, Burkina Faso, Togo, only to mention but a few. Ladies and gentlemen, with the current interest rate, 1,000 West African CFA franc can purchase only one Pepsodent. Yes, only one Pepsodent. The chair, but 1,000 USD can purchase 625 quantities of Pepsodent. The chair at the House. So you see the difference, 624, ladies and gentlemen. So by partnering with these countries, we can export more of our raw materials, and also we can get more money from those people who use the dollars and other stronger currencies. The chair at the House. We cannot let this opportunity go or just pass by all in the name of regional integration. That is why we say that we shouldn't prioritize regional integration over international partnership. Ladies and gentlemen, the line has been drawn. My assertions are clear. Thank you.
Africa, where we determine the prices of our own goods on the global stage, and Africa, where we have an integrated, thriving economy, is what we need to seek for. The chair, panel of judges, man of the pendulum, distinguished guests, esteemed co-debaters, ladies and gentlemen, I am Agnes Drea Ewinam Abba, a student of Our Lady of Grace Senior High School, and the supporting speaker reaffirming the motion that, quote and unquote, African countries should prioritize regional integration over international partnership. The chair in the House, Hakuna Matata, meaning just relax and don't worry whilst I take you through logical reasons on why we should prioritize regional integration in Africa over international partnership. The chair in my House, because regional integration promotes the free movement of goods and services, whereas international partnership limits our mobility. Integration promotes intra-African trade. Intra-African trade offers untapped potential. Regional markets will be more accessible and more relevant for African businesses. The chair and the House, the African Free Trade Continental Area, aims at improving our trade by 52%, but now we are only at 15%. The chair and the House, have we wondered why? Because we have prioritized these international partnerships. These international bodies we are partnering with have integrated their member states. In international partnerships such as the EU, it has integrated its 27 member states and boosting quota-free trading by 70%, increasing demand, increasing production, and boosting their economies. The chair and the House, they are not the only people doing it. The Asia Free Trade Area too is doing it, boosting their economies by 60%. And the North American Free Trade Area too is doing it, boosting their economies by 54%. The chair in the House, if these countries could come together, if they could build their economy, if they could boost their revenues, what shows that African countries could not do the same? The chair and the House, to my second point, African countries should prioritize regional integration over international partnerships because it allows us to bargain on the global stage just the same way the G8 does. The chair and the House, international partnerships, on the other hand, limits our bargaining powers. Africa, as it stands now, produces 70% of the world's cocoa. But tell me why we have no say in how much cocoa should be sold for on the world market. The chair in the House, this is because we don't send our goods integratedly, but we send it individuality. And this is what we need to reason and realize we are doing wrong. Countries like Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, and Cameroon could come together and send their cocoa to the world market and have a better say on what the prices of their goods should be sold for. Why are the countries, the sources of riches, suffering? Why is Africa suffering? Let's take Nigeria as a case study, for instance. Nigeria,
which has the second largest mineral deposit in Africa, Nigeria. It's one of the world's main distributors of crude oil in Nigeria. It will shock you to know what Nigeria also has. Nigeria has 48% of its people living below extreme poverty lines. And why is this so? Because we have internationally partnered, and they are coming to exploit us, and we are not opening our eyes to seeing this. Let's watch this video to emphasize that.
Taxes. As we mentioned earlier, international oil companies are supposed to pay taxes on their oil profits to the NNPC, but companies are accused of reporting lower profits in order to pay fewer taxes. So a company can sell Nigerian oil at a lower price to its own subsidiary in a tax haven and then sell that oil to other buyers at full price. They can inflate the costs of their Nigerian operations or underreport the volume of oil they produce to begin with. So public oil money gets lost in a swamp.
The chair and the House, esteemed opponents, this international partnership you claim is bringing development to Africa, is literally exploiting us. They come for our mineral resources. They sell it on the market for how much they think is worthy and give us what they think we deserve. This is exploitation. The chair and the House, this is not help. To my third and final point, we should prioritize regional integration because international partnership often compromise African sovereignty and decision-making powers. Regional integration would enhance and defend our sovereignty and decision-making powers. The chair and the House, regional integration will also ensure that African nations maintain autonomy while fostering mutual prosperity and resilience on the global stage. Before I resume my seat, the chair and the House, allow me to scrutinize some points and claims made by our opponents under the light of logic, backed by evidence and facts. To begin with, esteemed opponent, you said our integration has only solved common problems. Is Boko Haram a common problem? No. Is a civil war a common problem? No. But the ECOMOG, through their striving achievements, have been able to solve these various problems. They are not common, the chair in the House. A civil war could not affect only that country, but our whole continental bloc. Also, international partnerships better deal with poverty. Then tell me why they are exploiting Nigeria, leaving them with 48% of their population living below these extreme poverty lines. To my third rebuttal, when there are many alternatives, we end up settling for mediocrity. You call integration mediocrity. You call us mediocrity. You call the source of riches mediocrity. If we are going to better our continent, if we are going to make ourselves who we want to be, we need to integrate. We need to better ourselves one way or the other. And this is nowhere near to mediocrity. This is only creating the Africa, the thriving economy we want to see. The chair and the House, they also said 45% are income poor, yet we are the richest in the world, literally. They come for our resources to make themselves rich. So why can't we get our educated elites together? Why can't we cooperate? And why can't we make ourselves the rich ones we actually are? Also, the Bagre Dam you spoke about, it's because we are not prioritizing. The chair in the House, if we are to prioritize, we will find other ways, and we will actually see our neighboring countries as our brothers and sisters, and we will try to fix it, not necessarily try to sell it to them. The chair and the House, poor infrastructure they spoke of. We do not see the need to build our infrastructure because we are not prioritizing, because not every country has the means to build this infrastructure. But if we are supposed to integrate, I rest my case.
Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, Ladies and gentlemen, as young as I may be, I still find the ideologies of our forefathers simply realistic when they said, and I quote, "Yet the Ohohwo and a Chichukru," unquote, meaning a country is best developed by foreign ideas, unquote. My beautiful ladies from Our Lady of Grace, note that you cannot challenge the wise brains of our forefathers with the fallacies you presented to us today. To you, the ever-wise chair, bold and impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, colleague debaters, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, representing St. Hubert Seminary Senior High School, I am Kirkpatrick Michael Tre Gattenberg Chapsis, an eloquent supporting speaker speaking against the motion before the August House today, and I quote, "African countries should prioritize regional integration over international partnership," unquote. The chair, the House. For clear argument and development, I would like to add up to the tangible points raised by my principal speaker. Point 6, we argue that prioritizing regional integration over international partnership is suicidal. Panel of judges, it is indeed an undeniable fact that in times of crisis and affliction in Africa, international partnership has proven to be our messiah. Mama Lou, allow me to prove the empiricism of our truth. On 4th August 2014, the World Bank Group pledged and delivered $200 million to Guinea, Liberia, and Sierra Leone to help fight the infamous Ebola infection. Dr. Peter, I'm not done. I'm still on the empiricism route. The U.S. Center for Disease Control also played a pivotal role in controlling the spread of the disease by sending their experts and building treatment centers in Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, as if that was not enough, in the nick of the devastating COVID-19 pandemic, where great scientific minds were at work to find a cure, the president of the World Bank Group, David Malpass, said, and I quote, "We cannot leave any country behind in our response. In fact, we have provided emergency support to over 30 countries across Africa," unquote. The chair of the House, it's not the same African traditional teachings that preach that do not bite the finger that once fed you. Of course, yes. Therefore, underestimating the enviable support given to us by international partnership will be like we trying to be enemies of our own self. And this, my principal speaker and I, can never afford to anticipate. Therefore, point 7, we submit that international partnership opens door for global opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, you and I would agree to the fact that the world's economy is larger than Africa's economy. Therefore, prioritizing regional integration implies that we are limiting ourselves to only African countries. Uncle David, pardon me, but today I must abuse this empiricism word. Therefore, another empirical evidence to back our assertion is that as of 2023, the GDP of the entire Africa was estimated roughly to be $3.1 trillion. The chair, this would have been awesome if Africa was the only continent. But on the other hand, the GDP of China alone was also estimated at $17.7 trillion. And this is 5 times the GDP of the entire Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be surprised yet. Let's continue. The GDP of USA alone was also estimated at $27.36 trillion. Fellow human students, pick up your calculators and you notice that this is 9 times the GDP of the entire Africa. So the chair, don't you think that a partnership with either China or USA alone with this huge GDP appears to be more beneficial than the regional integration my opponents are preaching? Of course, yes. I believe there are business personnel and business students in this auditorium. Please sit my opponents down after this contest and educate them on how beneficial it is to partner with richer parties in terms of business. The chair of the House, our final point is that it will reduce foreign investments. Ladies and gentlemen, investment is significant to every economy, just like how blood is significant to the human body. The chair, we are not trying to be enemies of our own continent, no. But one question you must ask ourselves is that how many Africans invest in other African countries apart from their home countries, and how much do they invest? I'd like my opponents to answer this question. Ladies and gentlemen, this is clear evidence that even Africans themselves do not cherish the idea of prioritizing regional integration, and this I'll prove to all and sundry right now. Ladies and gentlemen, cooperate with me as I conduct this small classroom assessment. Fellow students, let us all imagine we are being given scholarships to either study in Togo or Canada. So those who choose to study in Togo over Canada, please raise your hand and let me see you. 1, 2. I can see only 2 hands. Ladies and gentlemen, also, those who choose to study in Canada over Togo, raise your hand and let me see. 1, 2, 700. Ladies and gentlemen, this is clear evidence that even Africans themselves do not cherish the idea of prioritizing regional integration. Where then lies the argument of my opponents. The chair of the House, at this juncture, I would like to rebut some fallacious assertions made by my opponents. Ladies and gentlemen, my opponent's argument laid in one fact. That was unity. So are you trying to tell us that prioritizing regional integration over international partnership, the only thing we can get is unity? My dear Richard. Ladies and gentlemen, the principal speaker said that she wants to serve as an advocate for Africa to go far. But the chair, we are not against Africa going far. This is what we all want. That is why we are crying for international partnership, because it appears to have a lot of benefits over regional integration. Ladies and gentlemen, the principal speaker said, and I quote, "International partnership, no doubt, will give you experts to help develop your country," unquote. The chair of the House, if she has rejected her stance and is speaking in favor of her stance. So the chair of the House, this is from the horse's own mouth. She's accepting the fact that international partnership will give you experts to develop your country. Why then should we rally behind her? Ladies and gentlemen, she also argued, in the case of Libya, they tried to paint regional international partnership black. But the chair, I will not take you far. Madam Jackson is here. She's the CEO of Jackson University College and the only university to partner with NIIT India. Let us ask ourselves why. She has seen how prudent and beneficial it is to partner with other countries outside Ghana. Where then lies the argument of my opponents? Ladies and gentlemen, they also argue that it will promote intra-African trade. But the chair, Ghana has Togo. Ghana has cocoa. Cote d'Ivoire also have cocoa. Therefore, what we are preaching is that because the commodities are the same, then we should transfer it from the regional borders to the world market. That is where our products are going to be cherished, and not where the products are the same. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to resume my seat. This quote from Bob Marley keeps ringing in my head. Thank you.
The chair of the House, the points raised by my supporting speaker and I to convince you all to rally for the motion, quote and unquote, African countries should prioritize regional integration over international partnerships are the following. 1, it helps to find tailored solutions to our problems. 2, regional integration helps to solve imperialism. 3, regional integration will promote and maintain peace, stability, and security. 4, regional integration in Africa aligns with South-South cooperation, which is promoted as the UN as a sure way of development. 5, regional integration is a step towards a united Africa. 6, it helps promote free movement of goods and services. 7, it allows us to bargain on a global stage. 8, international partnerships often compromise Africa's sovereignty and decision-making powers. The chair and the House. My dear opponents are here preaching armchair theories. People sit and they tell you they think we should not. They made a quote, but then the main issue here is those forefathers you are quoting are not those who were on the battlefield fighting for independence. Those forefathers you are quoting did not leave their homes, go into exile, were beaten, battered, broken for independence. And those forefathers who went through that pain, who saw that future, who saw that necessity, saw a united Africa. So there's literally no correlation between these forefathers you are quoting and the actual forefathers on the ground. I also like to mention that my opponents should probably join our EMAT class to learn how to count, because they did not do the counting well at all. Moving on, they mentioned the World Bank and the United Nations helping us. Did you know that the United Nations is an international integration? Did you know? Great. Since I don't honestly know why you're quoting them, because it's an integration of countries all over the world, same as Commonwealth, same as EU, same as the United States of America. So why will you come and quote people who are an integration to batter down integration itself, it does not add up anywhere. The chair of the House, they said the world's economy is larger than Africa's economy. That's what they said. And it confuses me. Is Africa in Pluto? Are we not a part of the world? So why will you take Africa alone and say the world's economy? Africa is a part of the world's economy. They mentioned USA having 27.3 trillion, which is 9 times of Africa's GDP. And I once again want to say that USA is an integration, not just a partnership of countries. Moving on. The chair, the House, they stated that Ghana has cocoa, Cote d'Ivoire has cocoa. If Ghana has cocoa and we go to the US to sell our cocoa and they'll be like 1 cocoa for Ghana cedis, and Togo goes and they're like 1 cocoa for a CFA franc, and we go together and they are forced to tell us that, hey, you have a lot of cocoa, so how much do you want? We should be able to have a stand. We are the ones who have it. They depend on us to breathe. So why should they be the one oppressing us? We are the richest continent. We have the youngest, brightest minds in the world. Yet, we have to go and beg. Yes, we have to ask for money from the IMF. It does not add up. It's like you have cooking oil. Your friend has the actual rice. Make the jollof together and you have a problem with unity. Unity is strength. When you take one broom, you can easily break it, as I have broken you. But if we are to put ourselves together, like Our Lady of Grace Senior High School, you'll be untouchable, unbreakable, and firm. The chair, the House. My dear opponents kept mentioning that we are emphasizing so much on unity. I said it, that unity is strength. And we can take the story in the Bible, the people of Babylon who were building a tower to reach God. This might not be a story that we would want to go through every day. But why were the people so close to reaching their goal? Unity. Why were the people so close to reaching their goal? Togetherness. Why were the people so close to reaching their goal? Integration. There's no two ways about it. If we want to go far, we should go together. And I rest my case.
Ladies and gentlemen, Our Lady of Grace SHS was founded by Our Lady of Grace Parish in Minnesota in USA. The chair. It is sad today that Our Lady of Grace students are here condemning a partnership that gave birth to the good school they are representing and attending. The chair of the House. May the Blessed Virgin Mother, the Lady of Grace, intercede on your behalf. Ladies and gentlemen, now at this juncture, I would like to summarize the point that my subordinate speaker and I said. Ladies and gentlemen, we said that African countries should not prioritize regional integration over international partnership because 1. African regional integration supervises common problems. 2. Poor infrastructure and networking challenges hamper Africa's regional integration prioritization. 3. African countries find it difficult to help one another in times of need. 4. To be part of a global decision. 5. It will limit market sizes to only Africa. 6. To Africans. 6. It is suicidal. 7. International partnership opens door for international opportunities. And 8, it decreases foreign investments. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like at this stage to make our stance very clear. We against the motion are never against regional integration, no. But what we are against and will forever be against is the fact that we should prioritize regional integration over international partnership, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as I was debating, I saw, I'm not trying to be ridiculous, but I saw one of the placards of OLAG, and then it was written on it, OLAG to the whole Yasi. I want to ask, why is it not OLAG to the whole Africa? The chair, you are preaching that we should do Africa integration, but you know that you want to be exposed internationally, but you are here preaching otherwise. Where then lies your argument, ladies and gentlemen? Now, they said that, point 1, they opine that it provides salient solutions to our problems. The chair, I'm rebutting. We are not saying that regional integration is not in use, the chair. It is in use. But while it is still in use, why is it that our problems still thrive as a continent? The chair. So we need to look elsewhere, as I said before. That is when international partnership comes in, ladies and gentlemen. Also, they said that together we are unified and therefore there is strength. Yes, I agree that in unity is strength. But there is a limit for the strength of unity. The chair, you cannot tell me that when the two of you come together, you can beat me. No, there's a limit for strength. Yes, the chair, there's a limit for unity, ladies and gentlemen. So, my subordinate speaker said that the GDP of all African countries to put together is 3.1 trillion USD. But the GDP of China alone is 17.7 trillion USD. The chair, where then lies the strength of the unity? Ladies and gentlemen, they also said that it will help promote peace and stability. The chair, the house, while regional bodies play a pivotal role in conflict resolutions, they sometimes lack resources or neutrality to effectively mediate complex conflicts. The chair, the house, international partnership can provide additional resources and impartial mediation. The chair, the house. The UN peacekeeping mission in Mali, involving troops from over 60 countries, demonstrates how international cooperation can be used or can be used for all of us. Yes, indeed. Also, they said that it will reduce the dependency on our colonial masters. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, I know that we all strive towards being independent of our colonial masters. However, it should not be at the expense of the continent or the country. So we cannot just say in the name of being independent of our colonial masters, we should just come together and integrate as Africans, while we cannot do something beneficial. Ladies and gentlemen, they also said that our forefathers were involved in battle for independence. We're not involved in battle for independence. The chair, the house, the national pledge. I promise on my honor to be faithful and loyal to Ghana, my motherland. I pledge myself to the service of Ghana with all my strength and with all my heart. I promise to behold in high esteem our heritage won for us through the blood and toil of our fathers. Is it your father? It's the forefathers that we are talking about. So I don't know why my opponents were saying that our forefathers are not involved in the battle for independence, ladies and gentlemen. They also said that we said African economy as compared to the world is smaller or so. Yes, we have to take Africa out because you are preaching African integration. So we need to take it out and then compare the world, like Africa, the continent excluded, and then all the other continents, we put them as one. You said it in your presentation when she was starting. She said we'll consider Africa as a unit and also international partnership as a unit. So when we take Africa out, all the other continents and countries that are left, we will represent them as one. So Africa's economy do not outrun the economy of those countries put together. The chair, the house. I would like to conclude by leaving us with a quote from Goran Persson, which goes, and I quote, "A peaceful world requires collective measures for the prevention of war, international cooperation to solve economic and social problems, and respect for human rights." The chair, thank you.
Madam Chairperson, I am very certain that from where you are seated, you can see the faces of the debaters. I think I can read your mind and tell that they are not satisfied. They want to go some more. Let's give them extra time. You want extra time? You want extra time? The lead judge read the rules of engagement. There was nothing like extra time. I wish there was, or there is. I would have asked them to do some extra time. But listen, what I can ask you to do is to put your hands together for these debaters. I told you it was going to be a clash of the titans. Patricia mentioned that it was going to be what? The Catholic Derby,
yeah.
It has lived up to the bidding. I wish they can go on and on and on. Because even when the principal speaker was giving his summaries, I could see the principal speaker for OLAG, gesturing. She was like, I want to come back and debate some more. It tells you how passionate they are about what they are doing. It tells you how intelligent they are when they're giving the motions. They are reading the flyers that people are holding in the crowd. They are rebutting and doing all amazing things. Listen, put your hands together for them one more time. And for those of you watching us on television, on Joy Prime and Joy Learning, it is beautiful, it's exciting, it's joyous to watch us on television. But I can say this to you, if you have time, come to this auditorium, feel the heat, Feel the excitement. If you're listening to us on radio, on Love 99.5, make time, be in this auditorium. We'll create a space for you to sit amongst us and enjoy it some more. Now, if you're listening or watching us on Facebook on Joy 99.7 FM, on Love 99.5 FM on Facebook, or Hits FM on Facebook, or let's say Joy Prime on Facebook, all well and good. But please be here. Tomorrow, we have another contest. The second semi-final contest will be on tomorrow. It will be between Kumasi High School and Church of Christ. It's going to be hot as well. But for now, let me take this opportunity to say a very big thank you